When big celebrity news is breaking, you want to hear his voice. And let me tell you, his voice is distinct. He's a man known for big takes and big opinions, and he's spending the summer with his family right here in Las Vegas. The man, the myth, the legend, Perez Hilton is coming on the show with us and joining us. Perez, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's an honor to have you. I want to start with this. I want to set the record straight on live TV right now.
Okay.
So your real name is Mario.
Yes.
How did the Perez Hilton name actually come about? What's the genesis of this?
It's a long story. I'll make it brief.
Yes.
I realized very quickly the power of social media, and that when talking about things that could get a rise out of people, maybe it was a good idea not to use my real name, especially because folks could track down my phone number and call me and where I lived, and I was one of the first people online to be doxxed.
Right. So but why Perez Hilton?
Well, you have to remember, back in 2004, when I began the Paleolithic age of social media, it was the infancy of it all. Perez Hilton was then what Kim Kardashian is now, and it just came to me quickly, and I loved it because Perez Hilton, when you heard that for the first time, it made you scratch your head. The Perez is me, it's the gay, the Latino, the outsider, and Hilton is Hollywood and the mainstream. So I always wanted to give people an outsider's take on celebrity news and everything happening in pop culture.
Now let's go back to 04, 05 and time travel a bit. When you're starting this blog, I mean, it really captured the imaginations of so many people and resonated in such a way. Why do you think you caught on and it exploded the way that it did back then, especially before social media?
I mean, I got really lucky. Nobody else was doing it at the time. When I first started, TMZ didn't even exist.
Right.
I think I gave them the idea to launch because while things always evolve and change, one thing remains the same, and that is on the internet and social media, the speed at which news can get out there and the speed at which you can become a, quote, overnight sensation.
Yeah.
So I went from 0 to 100, as they say, in 6 months.
And it's amazing because the psychology behind your start is fascinating. You know, the counterculture concept, going to an all-boys Catholic school, you know, all that stuff. But you also had the pedigree. You went to NYU, you were doing the acting stuff. You even worked at Star Magazine. But at some point you had an internal shift where you kind of like had to almost do your best acting job ever. Is it tough to lose Mario and then create Perez? And how do you live and exist in a world where you have this other side of yourself?
Well, first of all, Mike, you're very well researched. I feel flattered that you took so much time to prepare, so I appreciate that.
Of course.
And, you know, I think what I've been doing over the last, really a decade, is getting rid of the persona of Perez. Not totally, because I'm still flamboyant and fun and fabulous, but showing more of my real self. And I think when I had children and, you know, exposed that part of my life, and my mother as well, it is who I really am.
And the evolution of you is what's so special. You are a family man, you're a dad, we can see on social media, you're taking your kids all around. But let's get to this. We have a hot topic that we have to break down. You're literally the perfect person on the planet to be here the day after this news. J-Lo and Ben Affleck, they get married here over the weekend in Las Vegas. First of all, on social media, the first thing I see you post is there's a red flag about this. Discuss.
Well, as always happens, when news first breaks, it's initial reporting. On Sunday, just yesterday, People Magazine and Entertainment Tonight, both whom I consider to be credible, only reported that both of Jennifer's children were there. They made no mention of Ben's kids being at their very intimate Vegas wedding. And to me, that was a red flag. I understand it because it's clear, if you follow Jennifer and Ben and just pay attention, that obviously his other Jen, his first wife, Jennifer Garner, does not want their children exposed on social media. Jennifer Garner, is very active across social media platforms, and I love following her, but she does not post her children. And even if it was eloping, a Ben and J-Lo wedding is still a Ben and J-Lo wedding. And And as we saw, exactly that.
So as a parent, how do you negotiate that? You know, because if it's two different parents, they have different parenting styles.
That's for Ben and Jen to decide, Gen 1.0. However, I now got corrected by hardcore Ben, Jen, and Jen fans who said, if you look closely at that one photo of Jennifer's child, Emmy, next to Emmy, it appears that there is another kid there who is not J-Lo's son, Max. So, reading closely to what J-Lo wrote in her newsletter, it seems that all of the children were there. Thankfully, they had a very late night, these young kids staying up way past midnight on a Saturday.
They look amazing. They're so much fun at their age. It's so great. Real quickly, we're going to keep you here because we got to do some charity work over there. But before I let you go, how do you like Vegas? You're spending your family time here, summer here. What does Vegas mean to you?
You know, I first fell in love in a real substantial way with Las Vegas in 2018 when I came to guest host at Chippendales. I almost bought a house then, and my love for Vegas began way before that in 2005 when I first started coming here.
Yeah.
I like to consider this my second home. I truly, deeply love Las Vegas, and what makes Vegas great is the people. There's such a sense of community here. It's like a small town of 2 million.
You know, we love having you in the community. Perez Hilton, the great Perez Hilton. He's going to be staying with us because after the break, we're going to win some money at our Celebrity Spin Zone for charity. Perez, thanks for being with us. Stick around.
Thank you.